We've spent the first quarter learning about health and skill-related fitness components. Now that you know what areas to take care of, let's learn how to actually take care of them. Today we are going to be exploring the principles of training. Take a look at these two images. Think about what the reading girl on the left had to do to become the reading girl on the right. How about these images? What steps did these children have to move through to become the good walker on the left? Each of these groups of pictures depicts someone learning a new skill. They both start with a beginner skill that isn't easy when they start doing it. Learning letters and crawling. That's overload. As the skill becomes easy, they move on to a skill that's a little bit harder. Learning sounds of letters and walking with assistance. That's progression. These are the first two principles of training. Let's take a look at all three. Overload. The principle of overload states that fitness only improves when doing more activity or something harder than what one normally does. Progression. The principle of progression states that the level of training needed to achieve overload increases, fitness improves. Simply stated, when what you are doing starts to become easy, you're no longer in overload. So you have to change something to make it harder than what you're used to again. The last principle is specificity. This principle might seem obvious, but it is none the less important. The principle of specificity states that each component of fitness is conditioned in a very specific way. For example, the child learning to walk. If the child practiced rolling a ball, it wouldn't actually help her be a better walker. Or the child reading. Learning numbers would help her read numbers, but not words. Well, that is unless the numbers were spread out in word form. Let's take a second to see how well you understand these principles so far. The correct answer here is no. Sweating doesn't necessarily tell someone that they're in overload. What it does tell them is that they're hot. The correct answer here is yes. You know by using the heart rate monitors in class that when your sensor is green, you are working harder than you normally do. The correct answer here is yes. If you got this correct, great job. We haven't talked about the talk test yet. It is a simple way, without a heart rate monitor, to know that you are working harder than normal. If you were able to sing, this would mean that you have extra oxygen that your cardiovascular system doesn't need to keep you exercising. Just being able to talk without singing means that you're working hard. This answer is tricky. It depends on how honest you are and how well you know your body. Sometimes people who are new to exercise don't realize how strong or how hard they can really work. Let's take a look at specificity now. Yes, yoga involves stretching your muscles and joints, so this would be applying specificity. No, marathons require endurance. Sprints and agility would not be applying specificity, as they are not skills used by endurance runners. No, bench pressing is an activity to improve muscular strength. In order to improve cardiovascular endurance, the activity must involve your heart and lungs working for extended periods of time. Yes, for all intents and purposes, this is the very definition of specificity. This is the end of part 1 of this presentation.